going on, you guys? Paul here from BikeNerds, just coming at you guys with another video on this beautiful, hot, sunny summer afternoon. And as you can see behind me, I've got a bike that I've been working on and off for the past little while, and I call it the Easter Sunday. For obvious reasons, it's got some pretty pastel-like, Easter-like colors on it. And it's about 90% the way I want it. There's still a couple of little things I'd like to change on it just to kind of personalize it and tie it all together. The crank set being one of them. As you can see, the crank set on the bike is just, typical black crank set. So in this video, I'm gonna pull the cranks off, strip them down a little bit and do a little bit something custom to it just to kind of tie the bike all together. So I figured in this video, I'd show you guys how to, personalize, customize, and just make your bike look really sweet for very little cost. So without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. All right, you guys, so before we even get started, I just want to give you guys a good look at what the Easter Sunday looks like. As you can see, it is just very colorful, very playful looking bike. In today's modern era of just black and raw frame and boring gray bikes, I think it'd be cool to bring a little bit of color back, and that's exactly what the idea is with this one. But as you can see, those cranks, they're just bland and boring at this point. So in this video, we're gonna pull the cranks off, strip them down, give them a little bit of love, and with any luck, they'll turn out pretty sweet, and we can put it all back together, and this thing will be done. So anyway, you guys, let's get started and pulling these cranks off. First order of business, go ahead and loosen your back wheel, pull the chain off. Got the pinch bolt here, same thing going on over here. You got another pinch bolt. Just back that off just like that. Pull the second one off, just slip the crank arms right off. Boom. All right, we got what we came for. All right, so starting off, just like to wipe them down, get all the grease, all the excess stuff that we don't want to risk contaminating the paint. Just give them a quick wipe down, get all the grease and yucky off of it. And then once I get all the initial grease on it, I like to come back with a kind of like an alcohol wipe. Or you can use like a paint degreaser or something like that, just to help get all the oils and fingerprints and stuff like that. Like I said, anything like that can contaminate the paint. You don't want that. Moving on, after we clean all the grease off of it, I like to take a scuff pad or even like a piece of sandpaper, scuff them real nice so that the paint has a nice tooth to stick to, and try to be as thorough as you can. Because I know this particular spot I'm sanding right now isn't a critical spot. You're not going to really see it, but still, you don't want paint to just start chipping away. Anywhere you don't really prep or sand, just leaves the door open for paint to easily start chipping and lifting and all that good stuff, or all that bad stuff. That looks pretty good for what I'm going for. Now you can see a couple little chips and stuff right here. If you're going for like a mirror-like show finish, ultimately you want to fill in all those little chips and chunks missing with like some body filler or stuff like that, because once you apply paint over a chip or a chunk taken out, basically you're not going to bury that. It's just going to amplify it, and it's going to make that little crater look even bigger and even deeper. So if you're going for a show finish, you really want to sand it down to as smooth as you can get it. But the way I'm going about painting these, it's going to have a slight, let's just say it's going to have a slight texture to it, so it's not too critical what I'm doing here. All right, just so I don't get a bunch of paint in these threads, I'm basically cutting up this chunk of pool noodle and laying around. So I'll put it in from this way. That's where the pedals go in. So I ain't got to worry about paint getting all in my threads. I don't want paint getting all in my threads, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Threads protected. I'm going to do the same down here in the spindle bosses. Cool. Now we don't got to worry about our spindle interface getting all clogged up with paint as well. All right, I like to use bits of metal coat hanger. Come in really handy just for hanging small parts, That way you can just paint them real easy, not have to get paint all over your hands and fingers. All right, ready to go. All right guys, so here's the paint I'm gonna be using. I just went to my local hardware store, picked up this Rust-Oleum black. It's not gloss, it's just matte black, but I did get a gloss clear coat to put over it because once I'm done doing what I'm doing, I'm gonna clear coat and, you know, just protect everything with clear coat. And then I took a trip to my local, you know, like arts and crafts store, and I got these 3 color matching. Like I even took the bike in the store with me and matched all these colors, and they match pretty darn perfect. But these 3 colors here, each one of these was less than $2 a piece. Like I believe this one was like $1.50, and I think one of them was like 99 cents on sale. So literally less than $5 into these 3 colors, and let's just say $8 a can on these. So we're in it for less than 20 bucks. All right guys, so the trick is when you're painting stuff, like I don't know how you do it, but I like to do nice light coats. Do one nice light coat, wait a few moments for it to dry, depending on what you're painting. Sometimes you don't get 100% coverage the first time, and always don't forget to you know, get underneath and parts that are often overlooked and missed. Do like a nice light coat, because if you really start caking it on there, that's when it starts to run and drip, and that's when it starts to look terrible. Anyway, coat 1 done. I'm gonna wait about 3-4 minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with another coat. All right, here goes number 2. There we go, number 2, 3. All right, guys, so that's coat number 3. As you can see, it's looking pretty good so far. I'll let this one dry for a few minutes. I'm probably gonna hit it with one more. Sorry, you guys, as of now, I've got 4 nice coats of paint on the crank arms, and they're looking pretty good as they sit. But as you can see, I've made myself a little workstation over here. Got the 3 colors just soaking in the sun, getting nice and thin as they warm up. Just helps them flow a little bit better. And I got my various just random art supplies. I got these 3 cheap brushes, a couple toothbrushes. I snagged this while I was at the art supply store. It was on sale for like $3, so I figured why not. 3 bottle caps, that way I can add each color to each cap. That way I can, you know, just dip right out of the cap. Not have to worry about cross-contaminating or having to dip out of those tiny bottles. And yeah, it's pretty much time to get busy. And my idea is, with these crank arms, if you guys haven't already guessed, is to kind of do what they used to do like back in the 80s and just kind of like splatter paint everything using these 3 individual colors. You know, like I said, I haven't really put much thought into this. I'm just kind of winging it. So hopefully it turns out good. If not, you can, it's paint. You can always strip it off and redo it. But anyway, you know, it's arts and crafts time. All right, so I'm gonna first start by shaking them, although I have been periodically shaking them as they've been sitting here in the sun. I'm just gonna add a little bit to each cap. I've got to go super overboard. Purple seems to flow really nice. The pink seems to flow really nice as well. Now we got our 3 beautiful colors. Let's get the splattering. All right, so I think I'm just gonna start with do some pink here. Beautiful. See, I changed out of my decent clothes into some scrubby old work clothes. Kind of go less, just go around. And remember, it's almost kind of like less is more kind of deal. You don't want to go too overboard. You don't want to have too much of one or either or color. So far, the toothbrush is working pretty good. All right, moving on, I'm gonna start doing some purple. Nice. All right guys, so as of now, I just got the pink and the purple done. And I think they look freaking sweet. Like I said, once they're on the bike. They're gonna look freaking awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and add the teal now. I just had to run inside and find another toothbrush for the teal. Toothbrush seems to be the way to go. I haven't even really tried any of the other brushes because I'm almost like afraid to. But so far I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. All right, teal time. This toothbrush kind of sucks. I'm gonna actually try to thin this paint a little bit because this, for some reason, this teal is like extra thick. So I'm gonna try thinning it out using just a splash of water. All right, guys. So to thin out the teal just a little bit, I just used just a couple of drops of water. Stir it around real nice. Literally just a couple of drops was all I added. And that's gonna make it splatter much easier because this is pretty thick. Let's go again. Wow. 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 Arts and crafts time. As you can see, I'm doing this outside in my yard. You don't want to do this next to your brand new Ferrari, or maybe you do. Oh, good splatter. Good splatter there. Just want to make sure I don't overdo it in certain areas and underdo it in others. But then again, like I said, art is subjective. All right, a little more purple. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to overdo it. At this point, it looks pretty good, but for some reason, the teal and the pink is just kind of burying the purple, so I'm going to add a little more purple. And there I stop. I'm going to stop right there, you guys. I lied. I'm stopping right there. I'm stopping right there. Alright guys, so here's what they look like now that they've been splattered. They look pretty freaking sweet if you ask me. I almost think I kind of overdid it a little bit, but like I said, art is subjective. I think they look freaking rad. Since we're done with the splattering, I'm gonna go ahead and let these just kind of hang out and cure for about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes or so. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna bury these things in the clear coat. All right, so we've had this clear coat just sitting in the sun for a good long while. That's just gonna help it thin it out, make it propel out of the can much better. Like I said, just light coats, no drips. It's clear coat, so it's gonna be hard to kind of gauge how much you're adding, so just use your best judgment. So I'm just gonna let that chill for about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes and do another one. Round 2. Good thing about adding the clear is, like I said, it's gonna protect the colors, because without the clear coat, you know, as you were pedaling, your pant leg, whatever, would be rubbing against the crank arm and probably wear those colors off a lot quicker. So clear coat, we're gonna bury it all in there. Like I said, it's just gonna make it look really nice and preserve it. And plus, the thicker, the more coats of clear coat you put on it, it actually gives some depth. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's actually giving it some depth. Almost giving it almost like a 3D-ish effect, if that makes any sense. So that's coat number 2. All right, guys, here goes coat number 3. So that's coat number 3. All right, you guys, so as of now, I got 3 nice coats of clear on it. My plan is to add maybe 3 more coats and then call it good. Once I add the 3 more coats, I'm just gonna let these things hang for maybe 1, 2, 3 days even. I mean, the longer they hang, the harder the clear coat will cure over it, and the more, you know, the more the paint dries and cures. So time is your friend in that aspect. So anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and add a couple more coats of clear, let them hang out, and then through the magic of video editing, we'll be able to fast forward and see them when they're done. So let's do it. All right, so fast forward about 10 days. These things have been hanging out in the sun pretty much any day it's been sunny. I've been putting them out here to hang out and dry. I think it's about time we put these things on and see what they look like. These look beautiful. Oh my goodness. Got both sides nice and snug. Lock down the sprocket now. Last but not least, I gotta go grab the pinch bolts. All right. Alright, you guys, so now that we got it all back together, we can really get a good look at it. I think it turned out really nice. And considering that we've only got 20 bucks into it at this point, that looks worlds better than it used to look. So I'm very pleased with the outcome. I'm still considering doing the stem to match the cranks as well, considering I do have some leftover paint, so I might as well go ahead and do the stem while I'm at it. But anyway, in the meantime, it's all back together and looks really nice. Like I said, I just can't wait to ride this thing. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this one, you guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you guys think. Should I do the stem or should I just let it be? I almost think I should do the stem to match. But anyway, you guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Any questions or comments, feel free to shoot them in the comment section below. I'll be sure to answer them the best that I can. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.